LUDE presents the Siete,
Okay.
competitor of the Ocho from ESPN. They're running some things like pickleball, wall ball, little league. I watch. What's some spike ball? Can you name some other shows they've had on there?
Cornhole's on there, isn't it?
Cornhole's on there. Billiards,
Okay.
golf, soccer, some other stuff, some football here and there, basketball a little bit, but I mean, they're not. They used to be an investigative documentary style. You want the stories, you want to watch the highlights. Now it's just like a political thing, and it's not even what you remember.
You like the politics.
I don't like the politics, but I hate how it's just non-politics now. It's like they can't show anything.
Mm, yeah.
It's not like I want one side or the other. I just don't want how they have to be so proper and can't do like the really what they say interviews and the
Yeah.
stories about like the really bad stuff.
Yeah, those would be the good ones. That would be the tea that everybody wants to hear.
So that's what this channel or this part of the rabbit holes is going to be about. This is the stuff people want, Smelko.
I'm here for it. I don't know if I can give it to you, but I'm here for it.
I think you can, because you know where we're going to start, don't you?
Light on me.
The comeback of the Sanctuary for Adult Men Fantasy Football League. It's going to happen right here.
Finally, we need a little juice in that thing.
Who's that cheers for, Smelko?
Well, it's for me, boss man. It's for me. I'm patting myself on the back. It's another year, another defending championship. It's rinse and repeat at this point for me.
The league is going to be hurt by that clap. I think that just shows the leadership of this program. I really do. And I didn't want to come on here and say it, but is that what you're saying by that clap?
That I'm saying what?
Has he not brought his league together to form a unionized, civil place of friendship and laughter and banter?
Well, that's what they really need, And me winning 5 out of the 7 last years, it really provides an opportunity for everyone to team up against me, and he can't even get everybody together to do that.
And I had a verbal communication with the league commissioner the other day. It was fresh off his desk. He could not get all 12 members in the same place at the same time, is what he communicated to me via text message.
That would be impossible, and I would agree.
I also had a verbal conversation in which he, insinuated the same type of material and dates. But that cannot be confirmed on record. That is only what I can tell you based on my conversation.
Boy, it would be fun to get all together and do a draft, huh?
It's going to be done right here. I have the offer. It could be done right here live with live commentary from LUDE Presents the Siete, joined by hosts of the Fantasy Funk House on Living Room Champs. It's there. It is there. We just need the go ahead. We need that talk from our commissioner. We need that verbal approval that we know why we're here. Our friends are back. We want to communicate. We want to chat. We want to laugh. We want to get mad, but we want the Sanctuary for Adult Men back.
Do you harbor a little resentment because this was your Sanctuary for Adult Men, and it was really a hostile takeover?
I'm just going to come out and say it. I'm going to come out and say it. We had a lot of fun in the first years. We had a lot of fun. A lot of it had to do with a bold and brave man. And then things changed. Things change in people's lives. That's what this show's about, Smelko. It is. It's about that. This is about midlife crisis. This is about the approval from the missus. Speaking of the missus, she proposed a competition amongst friends once this show gets some traction.
Okay.
There's going to be a sponsor. We're probably going to get sponsored by some sort of TLC channel or potentially a YouTube series. And their sponsorship would provide a cash prize to the winner.
Okay, they better have a lot of They better have a lot of legalese in this.
It would probably be the
prize pool.
first. It would probably be the first 10 friends that commit to this competition, because I think I only have room for 10 people on this screen. So the first 10 friends that say I want to be on this challenge will be on this challenge, and the winner would potentially win dollars.
What is the challenge?
So my wife suggested the best dad dancer.
I'm out. Hard out.
What if it's like in a sum of money like $10,000?
Well, then I'm back in. Then I'm really back in.
I mean, people could question 10. I'd question 10, 15, 25. I mean, I'd dance. I don't know if I would give it my whole fucking thing though. But if it was like $50,000, I'm telling you, I'm winning that $50,000.
Yeah, and you got some good moves too. So not many could compete with that.
I mean, they had once called me a flamenco of the South, but I don't know if I could step back into those shoes I once held, you know?
That would come back naturally to you, I think.
It may, but you know, it's something I'd be willing to, you know, I feel like if I'm going to do it again, maybe that first try is the best. I want to get it live on air for $50,000.
So what would be the optimal strategy for you? Would you practice or just go right into it?
I really think
practice.
I'd be sitting down on the camera until that day, and that day I would just give it every goddamn thing I had, like I knew how to dance again.
$50,000 on the line, you wouldn't have one dress rehearsal.
I don't think I would. I think I'd like get too into my head and want to do this move and that move with a little Macarena, and then I'd be like, I'm off. I just need to let it ride. It's Vegas, baby. Maybe we can do it in Vegas. If somebody sponsors it in Vegas and flies us all out there, we have a 10-man dance-off for $50,000, all expenses paid.
That would be horrible for the viewers.
Could you imagine? That's this week's Could You Imagine?
We're not particularly a handsome group of men at this stage in our lives. Not
for
like we ever were.
$50,000. Gonna dance the shit out of you and make you quit. I'm taking that 50 grand.
I would definitely lay it all out on the line for 50 grand.
There has to be a judge though. Once the judge knows you're just not feeling it, just come over to you like in a boxing match. She just grabs you by the shirt. It's like, you're done, kid. You're done. You're out.
How long would the dancing routine have to go on?
I'd say it would have to be at least like a 5-minute foray of songs. You're gonna have to be able to change your dance type at least a couple different times. You're gonna have to come up with a new move. You can't just keep going slide, slippity slide, something like that, you know?
Yeah, I think that would be tough for everybody that I know.
So they're gonna have to see like all the moves you got. Can you do a little this? Can you do a little country rap? Can you do a little whatever? I don't know what kind of moves they got.
Are you gonna complete the hostile retakeover of your league? Do you think you could get it back in your hands?
No, I just want it to be in good hands.
When was the takeover completed? When did you give up your rights as a commissioner?
I think it was right around the time when I moved. Or maybe I tried to do it like 1 year after I moved, but then without the live draft and I think it was like negativity, to be honest. It was like negativity in the group. And I was like, you know what? It's not fun anymore.
Yeah, fuck it. Huh. So was that like 2014, would you say?
Roundish about. Like I just remember like it was fun at first, like the you know, like the banter, and then it became a little worse banter, and then it became banter that was like, man, that's pretty.
Yeah, people were being mean. Yeah, people were being mean.
And that's when I kind of gave up.
So the reason is I ask is since the other commissioner took over, if that was 2015, I've won all but 2 years. So do you think he's offered me is there some sort of kickback that he thinks he deserves? Do you think him and I are working together by any means?
You know, on the last episode, our guest G-Baby referenced this gentleman, and he said something along the lines of he was cheaper than he was. Now, I don't know what that was in reference to. I don't know what he insinuated by it, but I know he said the statement, he was cheaper than I am. I think referencing that he was pretty cheap. but the other gentleman was cheaper. So, I mean, if he
Maybe,
wants to defend that as well, I'd be happy. I'd love to hold the moderation between the sides.
yeah, I mean, maybe something for the league to look into. That's all.
I mean, I will tell my team to get on it. I mean, I know I've got some guys over there at the Fantasy Funk House. I know they will probably jump on this, maybe run with it a little bit. I don't know how far it's going to go. I don't know how much traction it's going to gain. But my guy told me that there were rumblings of trouble in paradise in the commissioner's office.
Is there? Okay. I was
I think
wondering because it was a late renewal this year. It was a real late renewal.
did
It's
it even get did it get
yeah,
renewed yet?
it's renewed, and it's been fantasy football season for the last since July 4th is the official kickoff, and everybody's been out here in these best ball streets grinding the smallest of edges, waiting for this league to come back, and I'm no different. And I can't. This is my favorite league every year for reasons of success.
Can
And I
you
plan on
reference can you reference the best ball statement? What is that?
Yeah, best ball, best ball. No in-season management. You draft a team, and that's it.
A
And
team for
there's
what though?
fantasy football. There's huge, huge top end prizes, big tournaments, million
Okay,
dollar
so you're
payouts to
just
players.
doing mock drafts all year.
Mock drafts for money, and then throughout the year they plug in your optimum lineup, right? So you don't. There's no in season. Their phrases. There's no in season management, no trades, no waiver wire. And the team you draft from whenever you draft it, that's your team throughout. And people draft 150 lineups in some of these tournaments, and the payout structure is so top heavy that you can win $1 million, but there's 500,000 entrants. But
And Smelko, I mean, have you participated and have you earned income on this route?
yeah, it's been successful, and yes, I absolutely participate. I am deep in the best ball streets right now. I probably have 100 different lineups that I've drafted.
Any sponsors or any preferred people that you would maybe want as like a sponsor for you? Or even the
No,
show, they could be a
I
sponsor here or you.
well, I think there's probably two main platforms that do it. Underdog Fantasy is the main one. My FFPC is probably the oldest one. That's like a tight end premium league. I mean, they're great practice for in season.
Fairly reasonable for the average fantasy football player out there.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Well, companies, you heard it here first. We're willing to talk. We're willing to talk.
I yeah.
Now I have to ask the tough one though, Smelko. Is that why you've been so good? What other fantasy players would have considered cheating because they didn't know about the best ball like I did. They still don't know about it. They're shocked by your statement, and now they're going to say, Smelko, you cheated. The only reason you've won 5 years out of 7 years is because you cheated using this technology. It's alien technology, and no one's ever heard of it. And I feel like it's cheating. What are you going to say to that?
I'm out here grinding for the smallest of small edges. I'll do it year in and year out, and that's part of my success. Is I'm here to grind through the entire weeks, every week. And when it's Thanksgiving and people are having disgusting Thanksgiving food with their families, I'm out there grinding.
My God, that's
daily fantasy football.
Smelko. I'm not going to lie to you, sir. You may make some future people very angry, and there's going to be talks. They are going to want to talk to you here live on the Siete, this investigative documentary of interviewing style platform. There's another interview coming, Smelko. I'm going to be joined by from Living Room Champs. They're going to come on here with me and our fantasy football doctor. Now I'm working on 2 doctors. Obviously they're not going to be using any of their credentials. They are under no platform where they're providing any sort of information that is of any fact. They're not committing to anything. They're simply stating opinions, just as every the Ocho and ESPN doctor we feel does. I mean, yes, they have some history and some knowledge in these topics, but they're just reading articles. They don't know what they're saying. I mean, 4 weeks, 6 weeks, or is it really 10 weeks, 12 weeks to where he might not be on fantasy radar.
Yeah, those are the types of people that I want to play against.
So we might have that interview here live on the Siete. And you're going to know, should I draft Joe Burrow in the 8th round or 9th round? He'll be back in a couple weeks. Or should you really know, he takes one hit, he's done. Does that drop him off of fantasy radar?
That would be useful information to have. Injury predictors.
They did say it was a ruptured appendectomy or appendicitis or whatever the hell that organ is called, but it was ruptured. Is ruptured the same as removed? And doctor will tell us live here.
We need to get a doctor's opinion on that for sure.
Isn't that just the shit you need to watch this for that?
You know what? If I could have one answer to the fantasy football season, answered truthfully up front, and I would be the only one to know, I can make a lot of money.
We're gonna have that doctor here live.
Are you taking questions for the doctor?
Yes, we are.
What ask the doctor what he thinks about of a 30-year-old running back coming off a foot injury, Derrick Henry, in the year 2022.
Boy, that's a good one. We got to get the answer. He knows metatarsals. He knows ankle specialists. If he needs to get some information elsewhere, he can. He has podiatry contacts. So yeah, he'll be able to give us that foot status. He'll be able to tell us how long, if, when, 1 or 10, he'll be able to give us that stuff. He's going to be live here.
Okay.
I mean, yeah, we don't get into that. That's the tough ones that we just don't ask here.
The hard-hitting questions.
I mean, here's a question we can ask though. So you got two parties here. You got Deshaun Watson and you got Robert Kraft. Okay? Total different ends of the spectrum. Now, we only have one known issue with Mr. Kraft and a massage parlor. We know of numerous complaints against the other gentleman in situations like that. So does 1 versus 70 make a difference? And that's the perception at the moment.
I think the Steelers should probably default to any wins they've played against the Patriots in the past, and any win or any games they've played against the Browns in the future. And I think that would settle it.
Bold statement. I mean, there could be arguments for both sides, and we'll leave that at that. But it's a valid question, and that's the platform here, Smelko. It's valid questions. It's not that we want to take a side. We just want to voice our opinion and hear the others, responses, because maybe the responses make the difference, and maybe you learn and understand it that way.
That
opinions only.
The fun and opinions only. That's what we're here for.
So tell us, if it's not cheating, which we still might have to talk, but if it's not cheating, is it a no running back strategy?
Oh, for me, yeah, potentially. When the room sets up for itself, I'm willing to jump on any and all strategies. And whether that be not to take a running back, the most useless position in any fantasy sports since 2015, I'm willing to do
it. Can I just quick statement before we go further? I'm just thinking of Mike McDaniels from the Dolphins. And I feel like that guy's just one of us that somehow got into coaching, and now he's a head football coach. Because he cheats at fantasy football like you. Because how the fuck's that guy even involved in football?
He's like the most regular guy there is. He's like an ultimate regular.
How is he in that world? All that world is football people.
Hey, rejoice to the nerds.
Good for him. I just don't know how he got there. I'd love to hear the backstory of Mike McDaniels.
Yeah, because he wasn't a football guy, was he? I mean, he doesn't look like
couldn't have been. What could he have played? I mean, cornerback in Division III? I don't know.
Yeah. Well, that's good. We're rooting for the fans then.
us frail gentlemen like myself, we don't make it very far in the football world.
We'll root for the Finns as a fantasy football league then.
I think Tyreek Hill might be all right. I do.
When are you taking him? Second round, end of the second round.
I mean, it could be there. Depends on what I picked prior. But I'd say between the second and third. Yeah, early third, second.
Okay. You know
Oh,
where the mock drafts line up, huh?
no, I don't know where he's at. But is that where he's going?
I don't know. You have to check it out.
I'll check it out. I'll check. You have anybody you'd recommend for that, so I could know where to find it?
No, I don't. You're gonna have to do your own research, boss man.
Maybe somebody's gonna have to pay me. How about that?
you're gonna have to get the commissioner to give you special.
Don't I sound like the sleaziest like car salesman that you've ever met in your entire life now? Like I keep saying all these comments, like yeah, they might be right here if you pay me.
The commissioner, you got to get special access.
I heard that. I heard he has like some sort of like battalion that like kind of walks in and out with him. But dude, that guy, I don't think he could fight a girl.
He's a nerd too, huh?
I don't even know what the hell he does all day. He's a mystery. Like what's he do other than ruin our fantasy football league?
Collects paychecks.
I mean, I did offer to kind of help him out with the LUDE bar, thinking, hey, maybe LUDE bar will jumpstart this guy in the fantasy football league. But there might be other people that are better with the LUDE bar. I don't know if everybody, I can't just give him the win.
Is that what you're thinking name-wise this year? The LUDE bar?
I mean, it could be. See, hold on. Time out, Smelko. This is the think tank. At the think tank, you just came up with that. The LUDE bar, and people across the world could follow the LUDE bar.
The people across the world could follow the LUDE bar.
And I the boss man, would bring back royalty to the sanctuary for adult men under this faulty, cracky, leaking ceiling leadership of our current commissioner.
Have you considered getting the commissioner on to air your concerns with him?
I have talked to him. He has voiced his displeasure with technology. He thinks of himself as one of those people from the past day.
Stone cold boomer.
He likes chest hair, and he likes being on the back porch smoking a cigarette type. One of them in his whitey tighties. Like I can see that, looking at his pool, maybe a robe on with his chest hair and his cigarette out on the back porch. That's what I see out of this guy.
Goddamn kids these days.
You gotta ask yourself. I mean, how did he get himself into that mess?
That man's living right, though. He's living right. Brand new house. Something we can all strive to do.
How about that garage? He had a one stall for a smoker. One stall for a smoker at the commissioner's house.
The commissioner can invite us over to his house for the draft.
I don't know that all of us would be able to make it. We'd try our best, but at least 75% of the league would be there, and that's what we need. We need the commissioner to have a live draft with the able residents in your neck of the woods, at your house, with the smoker, with a fire, with the house ready for the LUDE bar. Right, if you can commit to that, all 12 members will attempt to get to the live draft. Those who can't attend will be here live with it on LUDE Presents here on the Siete.
Why wouldn't he want to open his house to 11 other middle-aged men?
I cannot think of a reason he wouldn't.
Right.
And if he doesn't, he will answer for it here live on the Siete. So who wins this year? Who wins this year in the LUDE bar?
I do. Yeah.
Bold statement. I heard there was a guy by the name of Hawkeye that was coming on strong, had some good picks in last year's draft, just had some injuries kind of derail the season. But I heard that he is kind of like an up-and-coming guy that might have some potential here.
Yeah, at some point you got to prove it. Until we see a little action out of that.
Valid. Ask me, are you Are you worried about the professional podcasters, Maddie Funkhouse and Party Jerry, from their show, the Fantasy Funkhouse? Are you worried that they, may have a chance this year with their up to date knowledge and on time, fantasy mock drafts, uh, breaking news, important things that you need to hear? I mean, don't get me wrong, it's not that stuff that we're going to have here on the
Right.
Siete. It's not going to be, is a appendicitis ruptured worse than removed? Like
Right. Yeah.
that's the one that is really on the top of my tongue. And I know we got the other injury about the foot with Derrick Henry.
That's
Um,
gonna that's gonna that's gonna be the place to come to get information.
it is.
I think the Funkhouse has shown in the past he's a worthy competitor.
Okay.
Out of the last 7 years, he has won one that I didn't win. Right.
It was a down year. It was a down year.
Yeah, it was a down year for me. Yeah, and he actually beat me in the championship that year, so that was tough. And
So
he's been
not
a
only
worthy
5 of 7, but one second place. What about
one
that other
second
year?
place. Right. Yeah. The other year was a throwaway year. Yeah.
Okay, did
Tough
something
year for
happen
me.
there? Did we have some technology issues or partnership sponsorship
Yeah,
issues?
it probably you could blame it on something along those lines. Yeah, something other than my own skills. Yes, right,
Okay.
for sure. Yeah, that's be something with probably the system
Yes.
would be
Yep.
a good blame. But
Oh,
yeah, Guitar Boy really hasn't been in part of the competitors. Even your past guests have been a competitor in the championships.
and some say he's a weak drafter. I mean, I don't know if that's true. He does a lot of mocks. He has a lot of followers that follow his word. But I've
Which
heard
one?
that Party Jerry is a weak drafter. That's the word
Okay.
on the street.
Is that well known information?
It's it's out there. It's not something that's on the headlines. It's
Is
not
that
something.
is that something you would classify him as?
I didn't get that impression. And the more
Mm.
I think about it, I don't remember that happening. But I just know that that is what some people are saying. They're saying, how is he on a fantasy show with mock drafts when he's having a bad draft every single time? Is it maybe he's just drafting against his co-partner Funkhouse? Is it he's just
Yeah,
trying to match that? Um, is it he's going best player available? He's just not getting the best composite score at the end, or
BPA. Yeah,
is it just he's a bad drafter? I don't know. We're gonna try to get it here.
yeah. The nerves could get to you. The nerves are a real thing,
While we're
especially
speaking about that, we're talking about the pair. What's Funkhouse's week? Where's he just failing to finish? That's a big thing here. Failing to finish just can't happen.
failing to finish. Yeah, it's you always have to have a little bit of luck, right? Because it's 90% skills, 10% luck, and maybe he's drawn a little short on the luck potentially because he does run a pretty tight ship when it comes to drafting. He's part of the zero RB crowd. Um, he likes to grind the waivers too.
Is
Um,
he slow? Is it something to do with the enter or the waiver time in the morning? Is it something to do with the time difference? Commish.
yeah, sorry. All right. Commish potential gave me access to that program that potentially would let me get free agents before anybody and see who people have potentially bid on or put in their waiver wire claim on. So
Okay.
that might be a thing. Not sure, just speculating.
We'll have to get the team rolling on that one just to see if there's any whispers or crickets out there. I kind of relate it to fireflies. Once in a while you see that one flash by, and you're just like, you know what? That's the bit of info we need.
The
Take it,
flash
run
in the
with it.
pan. Yep, flash in
Flash
the
in the
pan.
pan here at Lude
Yep.
Presents. Flash in the pan. Spitballing here. Oh, who's gonna come in 12th place this year? And does the 12th place finisher deserve some sort of tattoo or punishment or something?
Tattoo might be a little bit aggressive. I think some sort of punishment for the 12th place finisher is absolutely a must.
Should it
And
be some sort of memorabilia? Maybe he has to put behind him, or
it should be some sort of monetary punishment. Like the guy in last has to pay something to
for
somebody.
the party or something.
Yeah, yeah. Or that's the house we go to, and he
How
has
about
to
that?
host the party.
Yes. We could potentially pitch this to the commissioner.
Yeah, and you know what, boss man, we can say that pretty confidently because we know it's not going to be us.
Hey, it's a valid. Neither of us have ever finished in dead last place. It's save it for maybe 1 year, like you said. Maybe 1 year.
Maybe.
Usually, I'm near the top, and I do fade towards the end. I do fade. I usually sneak into the playoffs. I feel like that's the thing. It's just, you have it, you put it all you got, you do a good draft, your team's looking good, and then you miss that one waiver wire, you miss that one game, you miss that one thing in the preseason, or you just didn't see the right player, and that's kind of what happens.
Not grinding the edge.
Isn't this just professional fantasy football talk here?
Yeah. Yeah, that's how unique. There's only 10 million middle-aged people that do it.
There's young guys out there too. There's young.
Is there youngs that do it?
I think they do it in high school.
Probably, yeah.
You got any?
What else do you think?
You got any sleepers out there for the masses? And don't short me. Do not short me.
There's no chance. There is zero chance I would reveal any player that I would be interested in drafting on this.
Mr. Smelko, this show people are going to listen to, and they want this information from you. A 5-time champion in the last 7 years, a second place finish, one off year. They just want a top 5 player at the most prevalent position in the draft. One of your top 5 sleepers.
Draft Derrick Henry #1 overall.
Now, Smelko, there are going to be people who take that the wrong way.
Perfect.
Please do not insinuate there's a worse draft pick than any other draft pick possible. Please don't insinuate that. I once saw a man, I believe he lived in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, New York City, something like that. He once drafted a very, very, very bad player, #1 overall. Very, very bad, and to the point where everyone laughed at him. I know it happened.
I don't remember that.
But anyway.
Yeah, no sleepers. No free sleepers.
Give us something then. Give us one player for some reason that you have an eye on.
No, I can't do that. I can't be giving out my tips and tricks.
Smelko, I might never have you back on here on the Siete, sir. You
ban me from the show. Ban me. I'm here to be the enemy. I'm here to be the villain. No chance.
All right.
Who do you got your eye on as a sleeper?
I like the Patriots wide receiver until he just broke his collarbone or something.
Okay. Never heard of him.
His name's like Thompson or something, but he just broke his collarbone.
Tyquan Thornton. R.I.P.
Yep. I mean, that's, what they're going to tell us a couple weeks, but, the doctor will tell us how many weeks we have to wait for him.
That would be good information to get. And
is he worthy of a draft pick?
Right, is he? And Drake London's knee. What's the doctor have to say about that? Are we worried about that?
Smelko, you helped me out and you helped our guests. Didn't know anything about this injury. I'm gonna have to take a look.
Take a look. Yep.
What's your take on it? What's your take? What are you hearing?
So I don't know. I'll have to ask the Twitter doctors.
This he's the real deal. He's better than the Twitter doctor. I heard that he once held a conversation for longer than 30 seconds without laughing. Once.
I'll be tuned in. I'll be tuned in to that.
Holds in the laughs. Thinks it's an unprofessional thing. All right. One rumor before we leave. I'll let you look into it yourself if you want to. Rumors that Tom Brady is on his 2-week hiatus from the Tampa Bay Bucks to be a contestant on The Masked Singer in Hollywood.
Okay, that is an interesting one.
Latest take. It's the latest take that's out there.
Tell you what,
and I cannot, I can't give you anything other than that. I don't have a truth. I don't know even what it's about, but I just read it. It said Tom Brady is starring in and filming The Masked Singer right now. That's what his pre-approved vacation break leave was.
That would be too good to be true.
Just somebody put it on my desk just now.
And if that's time stamped on this show, this will be the LUDE Presents is going to take off.
It's one of a few I don't know how many places it's out there. It's out there. I read it somewhere on the Bird
Yep.
by me. But that's that car salesman again, Smelko. But yeah, you heard it here first. What's our thing again? I forget it already.
Which one?
What are we saying? What's our thing? What's the big thing?
I have no idea.
We were talking about how if this was the first place. Oh, Tom Brady. Tom Brady on The Masked Singer.
Oh. All right, it's bedtime.
All right, man. Thanks. And I will hopefully talk to you soon. A lot of stuff that's going to want to be heard here tonight.
I'm here to defend any and all of my takes, and if not, I'll see you in the draft room in a couple.
And how are people going to feel about this Mr. Luke Jr.? I mean, this guy is just an entitled pain in the ass. We don't even know how he's related to this LUDE Presents. Is he a fake? Is he just, is he just too caught up in the game? He told a story about how he missed a step sleepwalking. Is it something more? Is there something he's not telling us?
Come here to find out. Tune in next show.
All right, later, Smelko.
See ya.